Good morning, children. Today I am going to discuss the class 10th next chapter, sources of energy. Sources of energy, children, we all know that. What do you mean by sources of energy? Any substance, any material, when they burn, produce the energy, they are called sources of energy. And sun is considered as the ultimate source of all sources of energy. Why? Whether the direct source or indirect source, all their energy comes from the sun only. That's why sun is considered as ultimate source of energy. Now children, you see the slide. When we select the source, then definitely we should know what are the characteristics of the sources. On the basis of the characteristics, we select the source, whether it is good or better or best. Then what are the characteristics of the good source? But before that, I say sun is the ultimate source of energy. Means that what, children? Like energy of our food. From where comes? It comes from the sun. Energy of the wind, energy of the water, energy of the fossil fuels, all energy directly or indirectly comes from the sun. That's why sun is considered as the ultimate source of all sources of energy. Now next things we are going to learn what are the characteristics of a good sources of energy. They are the four characteristics given. It is given in the book itself. You can learn. It is coming in the exam itself. It should have very high energy output per unit mass or volume. Very high output होना चाहिए. Second is that it should be easily available. Third point is that it should be easy to store or transport, and it should be economical. So these are the four characteristics of a good source of fuel. After that, children, sources of energy, they are categorized into two. One is called conventional and other is called non-conventional sources of energy. What is conventional sources of energy? The wood, flowing water, fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, natural gases, they are called conventional sources of energy. Whereas non-conventional sources of energy are what? Like solar energy, wind energy, biomass energy, ocean energy like tidal wave and ocean thermal energy, geothermal energy, nuclear energy. They are called non-conventional sources of energy. Again, the sources of energy, they are again of two types. Some sources of energy, they are called renewable like sun, wind, flowing water, ocean, wood, biomass. They are called what? Renewable sources of energy. Whereas some sources of energy, they cannot be renewed. They are called non-renewable sources of energy like coal, petroleum and natural gases. I think some are clear, children. Now come to the next. Conventional sources of energy. First among them is fossil fuels. So you know what is fossil fuels? You all know that millions of years back, plants and animals buried and converted into the form of coal, petroleum and natural gases, and they are called as what? Fossil fuels. And they are called as what? Non-renewable sources of energy. It is a good source of energy, but besides that, it has some disadvantage too. What are the disadvantages of fossil fuels? Burning of fossil fuels release gases, harmful particles which causes air pollution. Burning of fossil fuels release acidic oxides of sulfur and nitrogen which cause the acid rain, and that causes for corrosions of the metals and causes damage to the buildings. And burning of the fossil fuels release a large amount of carbon dioxide which is cause for the greenhouse effect, global warming. Then next, children, I come to the topic greenhouse effect. What do you mean by greenhouse effect? To maintain the temperature of earth by trapping infrared radiation by some gases is called greenhouse effect, and the gases are called as greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane, etc. Now what are the consequences or effect of greenhouse effect? Global warming. As you know that due to the increase of the greenhouse effect, due to the increase of this your infrared radiation, it causes increase of the temperature of earth. It is called global warming, and that is causes for the melting of glaciers and rising of the sea and oceans levels. It is similar to the glass house effect. Glass has also a similar property to trap infrared radiations, and by this method in the colder countries the people produce the plants and vegetables by this method, green glass effect method. So there are people they are going over there. So greenhouse effect is also the important. Many a times asked, what do you mean by greenhouse effect? What are the greenhouse gases? What are the consequences or effects of greenhouse effect? I discussed. You must learn over there. After that, come to the next children. Now see a diagram is given that how the greenhouse effect or how the global warming that causes the buildings and that can melt the glacier and all the things you can see in the slide. Now after that, thermal power plant. In thermal power plant, children, the heat energy whatever produced how by burning of the fossil fuel like coal, petroleum, natural gases, and is used to heat the water, and water is converted into the steam that rotates the turbine to produce the electricity. In our textbook, children, a pressure cooker model is given. There you can see that fossil fuels in the thermal power plant, children, chemical energy of the fossil fuels is converted into the what? Kinetic energies in the form of vapors, and that kinetic energy again converted into the electrical energies in the generator. Already in the electromagnetic induction methods and about the generator we have learned in the previous chapter, so you understand how the electricity is produced in thermal power plant. Then we come to the hydro power plant. In hydro power plant, the water is stored in dam. They have the potential energy. While the water falls, they acquire the kinetic energy, and that falling water runs the turbine and produce the electricity in the dynamo or generator. So you already know the electromagnetic inductions given in the book also diagram, and here also I have given that. Please learn that. Now what are the advantage? Flowing water is a renewable source of energy. The electricity produced does not cause any pollutions. The water stored in dams can also be used to control floods and irrigation, but it has disadvantage too. What are the disadvantages? Initially, cost is very high. Large areas of land get submerged, and decomposition of the vegetation produce the methane gas, which is again cause for the greenhouse effect, global warming, and it causes displacement of large number of peoples from large areas of the land. Now children, here see model is given how the thermal power plant work. Here is the coal burn and the heat is produced. That heat is fall on the turbine rotate, and here in the generator the electricity is produced over there. This is how the electricity is produced in the thermal power plant. Now in the hydro power plant, water is stored in dam. When the water falls, then turbine rotate. Turbine is connected to the dynamo. There the electricity is produced, and that electricity is given to the circuit. Now after that, children, come to the biomass. Do you know what is biomass? Waste material and dead parts of the living things are called what? Biomass, like wood, animal dung, vegetable waste, agriculture waste, sewage, etc. Biomass is decomposed by anaerobic microorganisms to produce biogas. Biogas is a mixture of gases containing 75% methane and other carbon dioxide, hydrogen and hydrogen sulfide gases. Now, see children, here is the diagram of biogas plant is given. Biogas plant, the diagram is of two types. This is the fixed dome type, because fixed dome is, this is a dome shaped structure and it is permanently fixed with the help of concrete and brick. That's why it's called fixed dome. And when instead of this, if we put a plastic lid over there, then that is called floating dome. So this is just the two types of your biogas plant. One is fixed dome type, another is floating dome type. And so only difference I told you, it is fixed, and in the case of there is lid is given, so that is not fixed. Now it has three main parts. One is the small tank, that is a mixing tank. There the animals dung and water they are mixed, and that is called slurry. Then this is come, and this is the middle part, it is called digestive tank. There is the main part of this. There the anaerobic decomposition of the biomasses happen, and it converted into the biogas, and whatever the biogas produced through the pipe, it is given to the, it can be stored and can be used for the lighting purpose, that can use for the cooking and any other purpose. And the remaining and the used part of this slurry is through the outlet valve. It is a very good manure or the fertilizer. It is given to the farm, it is given to the field, and that is very good the money. So this is how this your biogas plant hai, and how it work. And biogas plant, biomass converting to the biogas, major constituent of biogas is methane, that is 75%, and that is very excellent and efficient source of fuel, and that is used for that, and we are using it. Now after that there is a wind energy. Children, wind energy is used in the windmills, which convert the kinetic energy of the wind into the mechanical and electrical energies, and it is also the renewable sources of energy. Moving air is called wind. Denmark is called the country of the winds. More than 25% of their electricity needs are generated through the vast network of windmills. Germany is the leader. India has the rank 5th in the production of windmills over there. Now see that in the case of windmills, in the what are various advantages? It is a renewable sources of energy. I already said it. It does not cause any pollution. The recurring cost is less, but it has disadvantage too. What are disadvantage? Wind is not available at all the times. It requires a large area of land, and minimum wind energy for production of electricity is 15 km/h is required. Now you can see over there, it is the windmill, and so many windmills are arranged vertically. Then they are make the wind energy farm, and wind energy farm can be used for the large production of electricity. One other disadvantage though, since the windmills are erected in the open space, so it need to be maintained time to time during the storm or during the very high during the rain or a storm. They are going to be damaged time to time, so it required high degree of maintenance, and these are also the disadvantage. Otherwise, and it acquire large area of land, and this is also the next disadvantage of the wind energy. Otherwise, it is a renewable source of energy, and it can be used for the production of power. In our country, in the Tamil Nadu and the coastal areas, so many wind energy farms are set up there. The electricity are produced by that means also. Now after that, we come to the non-conventional sources of energy. Non-conventional sources of energy, in that first solar energy. Energy we obtain from the sun is called solar energy. It is in the form of heat, and there are so many devices they work on this solar energy, and they are called solar devices, like solar cooker, solar water heater, solar furnace. The light energy is used in the, and it is also in the solar cells also. So main either solar cooker, solar furnace, solar cells, about them you are going to learn. Now solar cooker. Now see children, here box type solar cooker is given over there. See, it is a reflector, it is a plane mirror. There light from the sun is reflected. It is a plain glass sheet. That is plain glass sheet is for the two purpose. One, to trap the infrared radiation. Already say it has the greenhouse effect. It trap the infrared radiation, and inside so many pots are given. Outer coating of the pots are black. Black body absorbs the heat the most, and so these are the main parts over there. One is the reflector, plane mirror. Other is the glass sheets, which help for the maintaining the temperatures. And other the pots, they are painted black so that they can absorb the heat. And when we expose this in the sun for 3-4 hours, then temperature inside the box is to 100 to 140 degrees Celsius, and then we can cook the food. But by this solar cooker, we can cook the boiled type of food only. We cannot cook the fried type of food, because temperature very slow process. If the temperature is increased over there, so it cannot be used for fried type of food. Beside it, so now since after that come to the solar cell. Solar cell is a device which converts solar energy directly into the electrical energy. Solar cells are made from the semiconductors like silicon, germanium, gallium, etc. A single solar cell produces a voltage of 0.5 to 1 volt and produce 0.7 watt of electricity. So several solar cells are arranged together to form the solar panel to produce the more electricity for the commercial purposes. Though it is used, advantage, it has various advantages. It is used renewable, so you all know that solar energy is renewable source of energy, so it is advantage. It produces electricity without which does not cause any pollution. Without any pollution, the solar energy directly converted the solar energy to the electrical energy. No pollution is over there, and it can be used in the remote areas where there is no proper power supply. But it has some disadvantages. What are disadvantages? It used a special grade of silicon which is expensive. Since silver is used for connecting the cells together, it become more expensive, and current produced is DC, and to convert into the AC, again the cost of production will increase. Already I show you, these are the diagrams for that. If you want to convert this solar cooker the most improved form, then we have to change this plane mirror as a concave mirror. Then temperature will increase very large, and in that case we can cook the fried type of food also. Now solar cell, you see that solar cells directly converted the solar energy into the light energy. Again the solar cells में two types of semiconductor they are used. One is the N type, another is P type. Right now we just you remember N type and P type. Further details about them you can learn in the higher classes. So P type, N type semiconductor they are used to make the solar cells, and that solar cell directly converting solar energy into the electrical energy. Here the so many solar cells are grouped together here also to make the solar panels. Or you may have seen various places that solar panels are made over there. After that we come from the next is that energy from the sea. Energy from the sea. Energy from the sea is obtained by three different forms. They are what? Tidal energy, sea wave energy, and ocean thermal energy. Tidal energy में what happens? The tides, the periodic rise and fall of sea level due to the gravitational attraction of moon cause tides. A dam is constructed at a narrow opening between the land and sea. The movement of water during the high tide and low tide be used to rotate the turbine and to generate the electricity in the tidal power plant. Sea wave energy. When the strong wind blows over the area, these produce huge waves, and these huge waves have the kinetic energy that can rotate the turbine and produce the electricity. Third way, that ocean thermal energy, OTE. There is a difference in temperature of upper surface warm water and lower surface bottom level of the oceans, and almost 20 degrees Celsius is the difference in temperature. Liquid sodium can be boiled under this temperature, and that can use to rotate the turbine and produce the electricity. And so by this way, ocean thermal energy means difference in the temperature of the water, sea or ocean water, can be utilized to rotate the turbine and produce the electricity, and that's why it is called ocean thermal energy. Now tidal energy, you can see model is given. When the tides come, then this main valve is open, water is come, then after that when the tide subside, then we slowly that valve is closed, slowly water goes from that, run the turbine and produce the electricity. Sea wave energy, on the surface of wave we put the turbine, they rotate and again they produce the electricity. And after that come to the geothermal energy. We know that earth, geo means earth, and the core or mantle of the earth has very high temperatures, and this heat melts rocks and forms magma. The magma moves up and collected below at some places, that is called hot spots. So the underground water in contact with this hot spot gets heated and converted into the steam at very high pressure. By drilling holes into the hot spots, the steam come out can be used to rotate the turbine and generate the electricity. And by the way, we have alternative means to produce the electricity with the help of geothermal energy also. Here diagrams are given. Here is the hot spot, and that here is it is the hot spot. Here the magma boil the water, that boiling water comes, they run the turbine and produce the electricity. Now here is geothermal given, you've seen the figure. After that come to the nuclear energy. Nuclear energy, children, the energy which comes from the nucleus is called as nuclear energy. It is different than the chemical reaction. In the chemical reaction, energy comes by the chemical changes, by chemical compositions, in that electrons are taking part over there. But in the case of nuclear energy, nucleus are involved. That's why it is called nuclear energy. Now, by the involvement of nucleus, sometimes nucleus are sometimes splitted up and sometimes nucleus are combined or joined. So nucleus of heavy atoms like uranium and other things and the thorium, they split it into two or more light nuclei atoms and release enormous amount of energy. It is called nuclear fission reaction. And in other case, the nucleus of light atoms like hydrogen, deuterium, tritium, they fuse to form helium and liberate enormous amount of energy, and it is called what? Nuclear fusion reaction. Now you see, children, before we go there, further we understand the nuclear reaction, I like to discuss you the radioactivity. What is radioactivity? A spontaneous emission of invisible radiation by some elements are called radioactivity, and the elements are called radioactive elements like uranium, plutonium, radium, etc. Henry Becquerel discovered this radioactivity properties. In what are the invisible radiations? Alpha particles, it is the positively charged helium atoms. Beta particles, it is the negative electrons. Gamma rays, it is a neutral, it is a very high penetrating power, and excess exposure of gamma radiation can cause the genetic problems. Now, uranium. Uranium has two isotopes. One is uranium-235 and another is uranium-238. Uranium-235 is highly unstable, whereas uranium-238 is stable. But out of a given sample, one is 0.7% is the uranium-235 and 99.3% is the stable uranium-238. Further, I discuss later on about this. Now, uranium is a ore and its mining is done. So where the mining of uranium is done? Mining of uranium is done at Jadugoda in Jharkhand. Processing, now the purification and converting to the fossil nuclear fuels, it is done in the nuclear complex Hyderabad, and uranium-235 is highly unstable, already I told you. Now I said that uranium-235, it has only 0.7, very small proportions. So there is a process that is called enrichment. So by this process, to increase the percentage of uranium-235 up to 2 to 3% by in the breeder reactor, it is called what? Enrichment. So enrichment is a process to increase the percentage of fissionable uranium-235. And nuclear fission reaction is also called as a chain reaction. What is chain reaction? Chain reaction is of two types. One is called controlled chain reaction, other is called uncontrolled chain reaction. The particles which start the reaction are also produced during the reaction are called the chain reaction. And controlled chain reaction in the nuclear power plant is used to generate electricity, and uncontrolled chain reaction that is used in the atom bomb. One and only one that reaction it is available with us, that neutron when react with uranium-235, it break down in the two particles, two atoms, barium and krypton, and 3 neutrons are released and vast amount of energy is produced over there. Here I say neutron particle is used. Neutron is used particle, not the proton and electron. And what type of neutron, whether it is fast or slow? Your answer is slow moving neutron is used to start the reaction. So you remember children. Uranium-235, that is what? Act as a fuel rod. In a nuclear power plant, boron or cadmium, they are used as a control rod. Heavy water and graphite, They are used as moderator. What is the moderator? Moderator is used to slow down the speed of neutron. Already say slow moving neutron only can start the nuclear fission reaction. And liquid alloys of sodium and potassium, they are used as a coolant. And one thing I like to say, children, that what is the secret of enormous amount of energy produced during the fission and fusion? It is on the Einstein equation, mass energy relation is equal to mc square. Delta mc square. What is delta m? Delta m is the loss mass. During the fission and fusion, masses are destroyed, and that loss mass is converted into the form of huge amount of energy. Now, got it, children? So what is the secret of huge amount of energy? Einstein mass energy relation is equal to delta m c square. M is what? Loss mass, and c is the square of c is the velocity of light. So square of velocity of light multiplied to the loss mass, it is equal to equivalent to the energy produced. Now in our country, children, following places there the nuclear power plants are located, like Tarapur in Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar Rajasthan, Kalpakam in Tamil Nadu, Naroda in UP. Now after that come to the nuclear fusion reaction. In this process, two or more lighter nuclei combine together to form heavy nucleus along with the release of large amount of energy. Single equations is likewise one or more two reactions, that 1s2 plus 1s2 means one particles of deuterium, they combine, they form the heliums and release the neutron, and on this way they release enormous amount of energy. So this is the light nuclei fuse to form helium and release energy. So this is the reaction for the nuclear fusion. What is the conditions for the fusion reaction? Two main conditions. One it is that it requires high temperature, almost 4 to 5 million Kelvin temperature. Another is very high pressure, almost 1 million atmospheric pressure is required. Now nuclear fusion reaction is also known as thermonuclear reaction. Hydrogen bomb is based on this principle. Hydrogen bomb is based on what? Nuclear fusion or thermonuclear reaction principle based on hydrogen bomb. All stars are called the thermonuclear furnace. There the nuclear fusion reactions take place on all the stars including the sun. Atom bomb is detonated to raise the temperature up to 10 degree Kelvin in a few microseconds, and after that the nuclear fusion reaction starts. Because for the nuclear fusion reaction high temperature is required, and that high temperature is maintained by detonating the atom bomb. So by detonating the atom bomb, high temperature is produced within very microsecond, and then the fusion reaction can start. Fusion reaction in the normal condition, it cannot be happen on the earth over there. Now there are three isotopes of hydrogen: protium 1H1, deuterium 1H2, tritium 1H3, and some environmental consequences are also there. Any type of you can use the energies or exploit the energy, they can affect the environment. For example, burning of fossil fuels pollute the air and water. Deforestation is causing soil erosions. Construction of dam disturb the ecological balances, or nuclear power plant increase the radioactivity in the environment. After that, you will see some slides. Here the nuclear fission reaction is given. Neutron is react with the uranium to produce barium krypton and release 3 neutrons over there. This is a reaction, it is called uncontrolled fission reaction or uncontrolled chain reactions. Out of 3 neutrons, if we control to absorb the 2 neutron using the boron or cadmium rod, then one neutron is left over there, again 1 neutron react with that. So in constant amount of agar neutron react with the uranium and process continue, then that is called control. And if you allow them to go without controlling them, then it become uncontrolled, and that will be the basic principle for the atom bomb. Like this nuclear fission reaction, here in this case the neutrons are not being absorbed, so this reaction go out of control, and this is called the nuclear fission chain reactions, and this principle is used in the atom bomb. Nuclear fusion reaction, already say 2 deuterium molecules they can react to produce the helium, and neutron produce a large amount of energy. And what is the secret of energy? Einstein mass energy relation. And one thing I want to say, that in case of fission and fusion, in which case energy produced more? Your answer is fusion reaction. Nuclear fusion reaction produce more energy as compared to the fission, and hydrogen bomb is more destructive than atom bomb. And this is the nuclear fusion reaction that is given: deuterium, tritium, helium produced, and neutron is produced, and large amount of energy is produced for that. Thank you, children.